All right, what's up? I know it's been about 2 months now. I haven't really no reason why. The business has just been very time consuming. We're scaling right now, and scaling obviously takes time, takes preparation, takes strategizing, and so I've been putting a lot of effort into that. And obviously, this is just a channel that I have that I just come sit down, talk to you, just kind of talk about some of the things I've been through, or kind of just give my opinion about stuff, just random stuff like that. So of course, I hope you guys do enjoy this little style, and hopefully I can get back to posting at least once or twice a month, but we'll just kind of see what happens. Again, I have a business to run, I have things to do, but I hope you do find value when I do post. That's the goal. Now today I wanted to talk about what you see in the title, and it's the fact that getting quote unquote rich is a disappointment. Now I don't mean it in a bad way, and you will understand that in a second. Okay, so just trust me on this. Don't, before you leave a crazy comment, just trust me. You'll understand what I mean. It doesn't have to be a disappointment. It can very well be an amazing thing, but there are disappointments that come along with it, and it's things that you need to be prepared for, because if you're not, it can really cause you to have like some serious struggles. This will all make sense in a little bit here, okay? But before we get into the story, I want to more, because this is something I've recently gone through that I've had to overcome. And now that I've overcome it and kind of like and past that point, I feel like I can hopefully give this to you, and you can use it and avoid what I went through mentally. Okay, so you'll see in a little bit. But preference, the calling yourself quote unquote rich, very weird. I'm not trying to do that. It's just the only way that you can kind of understand what I mean. Whenever I say rich, I just mean the act of making money. And I'm not talking just a little bit of money. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, right? Doing that can be a bit of a disappointment. So I'm not trying to brag. I mean this with the best intention. I genuinely do not care if you think I'm cool or if you think I'm rich. It literally makes absolutely zero difference to my day-to-day life. I'm not on this YouTube channel trying to get attention or clout or whatever it may be from calling myself rich. It literally does not make a difference to me. So I hope you understand that. But now with that out of the way, let's kind of talk about it. So I need to give a little bit of a backstory. So if you watched the very first video on this channel, or the most recent one at least, you saw that I really gave you guys a story time, and the preface of how I even got into the world of business was that I was a dishwasher. I was sick of washing dishes, was sick of only making $8 an hour, feeling like I wasn't like reaching my maximum potential, I knew I had more in me, and it kind of got me into the world of the stock market just kind of by accident. The world of the stock market got me making YouTube videos during the pandemic about stocks, and then that turned into me talking about crypto. Then I took the crypto YouTube channel and turned that into a network machine that was able to kind of push clients to my business. My business was, of course, managing YouTubers and handling marketing campaigns for companies. And then, of course, I turned that business into a multi-million-dollar business by about roughly 22 years old. That's the general story. Now, in those early days, whenever I was first starting with, like the world of say YouTube and stuff, I had aspirations. Like, you see all your idols, especially if you were kind of the type of kid that I was, right? You see all of your idols who had the money, they had the car, they had the girl, they had the attention and the clout and the fame, and they were invited to the places, right? That was kind of one of those things for me. I just wanted to be invited places. I wanted to be cool enough to get invited places, right? I wanted all of those things. And what I came to realize was that, like, I was just specifically working for money so that I could have those things. Now, was that necessarily the worst thing ever? No. I mean, I think that when you're trying to enter into the world of business, you need to have some sort of motivation, because realistically, it's tough. It's brutal. It's not easy. You have hard days. You have amazing days, but you have fucking hard days. You have real days where you just doubt yourself and you wonder if you're meant for this. You have days if you should just go back to the fucking boring nothingness of the 9-to-5 world, or just go back to school and have people just tell you what to do all day, right? Like, it makes you question yourself a lot. But going through that, you need to have a point of motivation, right? You need to have that one thing that can just get you through it. And my thing was, I want people to know me. I want them to see the things I have. I want to have that car that drives around this town that everybody sees. I want to be able to get that girl that everybody wants. I want to wear those clothes that everybody wishes they would wear. And that was my motivation. I meant it. I wanted it. And there was nothing or no one that was going to stop me from getting it. Simple as that. Now, mind you, I was 18, 19 years old, from a small town. Shocker, right? Now, what was interesting about that is, like I said in the last video, the journey, although it didn't feel fast, in hindsight, it was very fast. Going from making $8 an hour at a dishwashing job to moving to another job that was more commission-based, making $13, $14 an hour, to starting a YouTube channel, to the next year making $20,000 in a month. Like, It was so fast. And what was crazy about it was that it was so immediate that it almost froze me a little bit. Like, it almost froze me a little bit because I had those thoughts like, it's not going to last. This is going to disappear. This is unrealistic. This isn't supposed to happen. You're not supposed to make money like this. And so it froze me for like 3, 4, 5 months where I really didn't spend any money. I was still living with my mom, living down there. It was like a very small ass room that I was working out of and sleeping in. It was kind of a mess. But at the end of the day, like I said, it froze me. But then after I got past that point, in which I started to kind of realize, like, oh shit, like this might be for real. Like, I might actually be making this type of money, and I might actually be able to survive through this, and I might actually be able to maintain this and bring some longevity to this and turn this into a business. I started pursuing those things that I had set out to. You know, I started buying some clothes. You know, I started just buying whatever clothes that I wanted. I started buying, you know, the shoes that I thought like girls would want to see, which I came to realize girls don't give a shit about the shoes you have on your feet. I started to buy watches, a bunch of watches that, and now that I'm a watch collector, that's a fucking watch collector. Now that I'm a watch collector, I look back at those watches, I'm like, they're terrible watches. But I started just buying watch after watch. I mean, dude, I bought 30 watches. Probably spent $4,000 or $5,000 on watches in 2 days. Just buying that. I started going to the bar and just buying everyone's shots. You know, buying everyone's shots. Sorry, my phone's going off. Let me mute this. I just started buying everyone's shots. Like I was bringing that type of attention. You know, whenever I would go on and say a date with a girl, I would just spend hella money just to like show, like, I got that, right? I was doing these things in pursuit of what I set out to achieve. And like I said, what I set out to achieve was the money and the clout and the name and that feeling like I had accomplished what those people on Instagram had accomplished, right? Those people on YouTube had accomplished. Those stupid fucking vlogs where they're just telling you like, money is this, money is that, it solves your problem. Look at the girls I have, right? Those stupid Dan Bilzerian. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, that's what I set out to do. Now, what was interesting was in the beginning days, it felt so good. I mean, dude, it felt so good. Like just going out, blowing cash, I'd go to the bar and literally fucking rip money up at the bar to flex. I did that. Now, mind you, it was like it was one $100 bill. I did that. And then I realized how much of a dick I was being. But it felt good. And I was addicted to it, like genuinely addicted to it. I was going to the mall every weekend, blowing money, buying shit I didn't want. If the girl who worked behind the register was cute, I'd spend hella money. Like, in my definition of hella, right? Like $900 or $800. Oh shit, I do not need or did not want, but I didn't care because I liked what came with it, right? Whenever I'd spend all that money and then I'd have the motivation and I'd ask them, you know, what's your name? And like all this shit. And it was an easy way in, like, and it worked, right? It worked. And that was the craziest shit. It always worked. And it was weird. It was honestly weird, but I liked it. And as time went on, I did this for months. I'm talking months. Now, mind you, I didn't spend crazy money. Like in 2021, to put it in perspective, you know, I don't know exactly how much it was. Maybe averaging 15 to 20,000 a month or something like that. And I was blowing like 7, maybe, or like 8,000 a month on dumb shit, just random shit that I didn't necessarily need, but I just wanted just to have it, just to show other people that I had it. I was still in college and showing people, look what I got, right? And I was doing this for months, as I mentioned before. That's where I was at. I was doing this for months. But then something started to happen. As time had gone on, I started like I wasn't getting depressed. That's not the right word. But I started losing motivation. And I couldn't pinpoint exactly why. I couldn't really figure out exactly what it was that was causing me to lose my motivation. But I was losing it, and I was losing it fast. Now, at this time, when I started losing motivation, it was about February or March of 2022. I realized that I was having thoughts about not even wanting to do what I was doing anymore. Like, I'm a pivot. Like, I want to be a real estate agent. Or I want to be this, or I want to be that. Like, thinking away from what I was doing. Now, mind you, I was still making $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. It slowed down a little, but I was making like $8,000 or $9,000, $10,000 a month, right? And I'm thinking, I want to do other things. And I came to the realization that I was losing motivation as a result of a lack of pursuit. It was a lack of pursuit. Like I wasn't pursuing something anymore. I had accomplished what I set out to accomplish. I had gotten with the girls, right? I had bought the clothes. I had been invited places, which was fucking awesome, right? I had been invited places and I felt special. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted to feel special. But then once it passed, there's something that happens in life where you just get used to things. Situations can be as good as possible or as bad as possible, and you will eventually become used to it. You can be in the worst situation ever. You could lose a limb. Eventually, you'll get used to it. Doesn't mean you'll be happy, but you'll get used to it. You can win the lottery. You'll get used to it. And what scared me was that as time went on, as days passed and weeks passed, I caught myself more and more and more or just losing motivation, losing that urge, losing my edge, losing the feeling that I wanted to go out and pursue something and be something. And what I came to realize is that the reason being is because the reason I even set out in the first place was because I was chasing materialistic satisfaction. At the end of the day, that's all it was. Now, I guess I don't know if materialistic is the word that applies to like the girls, right? I don't know if it is the word that applies to the attention, but that's what it was. Surface level satisfaction. Maybe that's better. But what I didn't realize was that what happens with money is that it shows you how unimportant surface level things are, and then it emphasizes under the surface. What do I mean? I mean that when you make money, it's going to show you the clothes don't fucking matter. The jewelry don't matter. The girls, the wrong type of girls, and you know what type of girls I'm talking about, they really don't matter. But what does matter is what's below the surface. And money is an emphasizer. People always fucking say, and it irks my nerves, money doesn't buy happiness. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It can. But it doesn't solve problems. There we go. It doesn't solve your problems. It can buy happiness. Why? There are things out there that make you very happy. Very happy. One of the things that makes me very happy is traveling. How do I travel? Money. So grow up. Yes, it does. But what you'll come to realize is that, again, it emphasizes what's under the surface. It emphasizes the things that are deep within you. And what I came to realize was I didn't know what was deep within me. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I didn't know what my purpose was. I literally didn't know a thing about myself. I kind of had rough understandings. I knew I was I was stupid enough to be tough. You know, I was a MMA fighter full time at that point, and I knew I could take a whooping and I could dish a whooping, right? I knew those things about myself, but even those aren't truly deep. I had no true understanding of what it was that I wanted to pursue in life. I had no idea what I wanted to be in life. I had no idea the direction that I wanted to go to make myself truly happy eternally. And money didn't help with that. Because as the days went by, I'd get paid $3,000. You know, when it first started, get paid $5,000 from one deal. And it's like, holy shit, I did it. Then I go spend it. Then I can't wait. I'm just like fucking itching like a, one of them. And then it would happen again. And I would get so hyped again. And it would happen again. And I'd get so hyped again. And then time would go by and time would pass. And as you start to get through that surface level and you start to realize it doesn't matter, those $5,000 deals you don't care. You're working and busting your ass day in, waking up at 4 a.m., hustle, 5 a.m., hustle, 3 a.m., hustle, go to sleep 1 a.m., wake up 3 a.m. the next day, hustle. Then you get the money. You make the money. Didn't make a difference. I vividly remember the day where I realized something was wrong because I made $9,000 in about 3 minutes. A person reached out to me. Hey, Tyler, I want to book a package through your company. Okay. What do you want? I want a $100,000 package. Okay. I had a $100,000 package that I had tried to sell someone else. I just sent it to him. He immediately said yes. I sent it to him. I sent him my wallet address. He said okay. He sent me the funds. I paid out the influencers. My commission was 9%. I made $9,000 literally within 3 minutes. And I didn't care. I literally just went on about my day as per usual. I actually just went to the gas station and got myself some snacks and watched what was that? There was a new Fast and the Furious movie that had just come out. And as I was watching that movie on my couch by myself, I came to realize something's truly wrong. Something's truly not right about where I'm at right now because that should have made me happy. And that's when I came to realize that this whole getting rich shit, just making the money, that act of making the money is a fucking disappointment. Because if you don't have the right true intentions or motivations or reasonings as to why you want it or what you want to do with it or where you want to go with it, eventually you will get used to having it. Eventually you'll be used to just buying whatever food you want. It doesn't make a dent. Going in gas, it doesn't make a dent. Paying your bills, paying your mortgage, paying your rent, doesn't make a dent. Go and do this, doesn't make a dent. It doesn't change anything. Eventually you get used to that. And once you get used to it, you get accustomed to it. You get comfortable. And then that money just does not change anything. It doesn't make a difference. Having 100,000 and 200,000 feels exactly the same. Having 200,000 and 300,000 feels exactly the same. Nothing truly changes. And then you come to realize that, holy shit, literally this making money thing, once you get used to it and you get past the surface level, once the buying watches or clothes or getting attention from these groupies or whatever it may be, once that gets old, it's disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing, and I was incredibly sad for a little while because I had worked so hard. I had dreamed for so long while I was in high school, while I was in that fucking dish pit, soaking wet, just gross, just gross. Dreaming about the day where I could go buy whatever car I want or have whatever girl I wanted, which is funny that I equate money to girls, but whatever. And then you get there and you get used to it and you come to realize it's not as exciting as you thought it would be. It wears off and you get used to it. You see, but I told you I got past this. And let me tell you how I got past this. What I came to realize is that money is a vehicle. It's a tool. You know, I equate money, for example, as to getting a new car. Whenever you first get that car, it's so fucking exciting, dude. You can go wherever you want. Yeah, you gotta get gas, but you can go wherever you want. It looks cool. Riding around, pick up your friends, take them to the gas station, bring them back, leave it unlocked, just to be a little bit crazy. But then that first week goes by and it's like, yeah. Second week goes by, yeah. Third week goes by, yeah. Fourth week goes by, no, it's just my car. Then you're used to having it. And what you come to realize is that, and like I said, the reason why I equate money to being that car is that just having it only lasts so long. Having somewhere to go in it or something to do with it or using it for something that actually brings you joy is where you will truly find the satisfaction from it. That's what I feel about money. I feel like money should be thought of solely as a tool and not a goal. Making money should not be the goal. Maybe it should be the goal up until you get to the point where you can pay your bills comfortably every single month. Maybe. That makes sense. But once you hit that goal, I would say your long-term vision needs to be based around something outside of quite simply just making money, because I promise you will get disappointed. I promise you'll get disappointed. And that was the issue for me. I came to realize that my goal was rooted in having money and the things that came with it. But once I got used to the things that came with it, I had no direction. I started waking up every morning like, why am I about to even get up and go make this money that I won't give a fuck about? I'll go make $9,000 and literally not care. What's the point of getting up? My business started to dwindle a bit. My YouTube channel started to dwindle a bit. My motivation, my mental health, all of these things started to dwindle a bit. What I actually ended up doing was taking a fight, an MMA fight, to get my mind off of it. It's realistically what I did. And then once the MMA fight was over, I realized as time went on, I need a motivation. I need a direction. I need a reason as to why I'm doing this. And at the time, I had been doing a lot of pretty frequent meetings with a guy named Pastor Gabe Smith. And when I talked to him, he made it very obvious for me. He said, look, it's very clear what you want. What you want is to lead a happy family. And I was like, I kind of knew that. Like, I kind of knew that, right? Because I don't necessarily come from the exact type of family. Like, I don't come from a perfect family. I come from a great family, but I don't come from a perfect family. And there are things about my family that I wish were different, right? And in my brain, I've always wanted to take those things that I wish were different and give my own child those things, right? That's kind of been something I've always thought in the back of my head. But Pastor Gabe, he made me truly realize that's what I actually want. Fuck the bullshit, the clothes, the cars, whatever. That is truly at my core what I wanted. And you see, what was interesting was that as I started to think about it like that, like, okay, I want to have a child and I want to be a great father. Let's just start there. Like, that's what I actually want. As I was waking up in the morning, my motivation for that carried me so much further than the clothes and the groupies and the bullshit. And what was weird about it was that the moment that I rewired my brain into realizing that the goals and the motivations, my intentions, everything that I did was rooted to something deeper, it made me work harder. Thinking about that little guy or that girl, right? That one day I'm going to have to provide a life for, and I want it to be a fucking damn good life. Knowing that the work that I'm doing right now is going to determine whether or not I'm capable or not capable. That's in my brain, right? You don't have to have money to be a good dad. I understand that. But knowing the type of life that I want to provide, where there's not a financial worry. I've seen financial struggles on parents. I don't want to go through that, right? Knowing that the work I'm doing right now avoids that, puts them in the best places possible, in the best fucking school possible, on the best teams possible, and in the best education possible, with the best people around them possible. Like, that's my goal. And the work I'm doing right now, at this exact moment, is the only thing that's going to get there. That's going to get this fucking thing from point A to point B. And what was crazy about it was my feelings of disappointment, my depression, it's not the right word, but you get it. My sadness, my lack of motivation, all of those things almost immediately disappeared. Genuinely, almost immediately disappeared. And I came to realize that the act of getting rich is extremely disappointing, up until the point that you realize that making money, right, is just creating a vehicle that you can use to get yourself to the true goals, the true determinations and motivations that you have as an individual. Because if your primary goal is to simply just make money, eventually that goal will disappoint you more than you could ever imagine. I promise. And some people are going to say, well, it's easy to say when you have money. Don't listen. Go ahead. I hope and I pray that one day, when you get in this position, you at least tell the next guy exactly what I'm saying right now. Because if you end up in this exact spot, you're going to feel the exact same way. Take it how you will. But it's an interesting one. Because now, every time I make 2,000, so exciting. 30,000, so exciting. 500,000, so exciting. It feels different. Because I know that at my core, the reason I'm doing it goes so much deeper than just me. So much deeper than just the people around me. So much deeper than those of you. The impact that money can have could be so impactful that none of us, not me, not you, or anyone on earth right now, will ever see the impact that it creates. That's what excites me. So yes, I do believe getting rich is a disappointment. It's a disappointment up until you realize that the act and the goal shouldn't be getting rich. It should be making enough money to create the resources necessary to get yourself to the goals and the true motivations that you have at your core, not on the surface, because those surface level things get very boring. They come with a lot of bullshit. They come with a lot of stabs in the back. They come with a lot of disappointment, and they come with a lot of pain. But what's crazy about it is once you can recognize that those surface level things are just so fragile and so bullshit, it makes you realize how truly important and truly valuable the things at your core are. So I don't mean to make this video and discourage anyone, and I hope I'm not. More of what I want to do is to encourage you to truly figure out what your true motivations are. What are the things that you actually want to do with your life? What are the things that you actually feel will make a difference not only to yourself, but to those around you? What are going to be the things that you can do not only just for one day or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, but for 10 years, for 50 years? What are those things? What are the impacts that can be made over a long period of time? Because I promise you, buying clothes gets old. Buying shoes gets old. Going have your little thingy things with these little random girls gets old. I promise it gets old. The thing that doesn't get old is what truly drives your soul, what truly drives your heart, what truly drives the things in you that makes you want to get up every morning and say, I'm about to fucking do this. That's what's not disappointing. And so again, my whole goal here, I don't want to discourage you. I think everyone that has the will to make money should go try to do it. I'm not saying everyone should own a business, but if you feel like I want to be more, I want to own a business, you should go try. You should at least try. I think everyone should at least try that has that feeling internally. And so I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm trying to encourage you. But in the process of you getting there, get your shit together internally and deep down and recognize what is my true goal with this. Because at some point, you're going to need that. You're going to need that reason why to push through the hard days, to push through the boring days, and push through the uncomfortability, and they're going to come. So that's a bit of something that I've kind of gone through somewhat recently and had to have learned through. And it was a wild one for me. It was rough. It was kind of rough figuring it out. But once I figured it out, it was absolutely life-changing. Went from making a couple thousand a month to making, 10, 15, 20,000 a month, to making 100,000 a month, to making 200,000 a month. The difference is insane. So take it to heart. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like I said, I'd love to post a little bit more frequently on the channel as I just have thoughts and things I want to talk about, but I'm not going to force it. I do not care about the financial side of this channel. I literally couldn't give a shit if I make $1 or a cent on this channel ever. That's not the goal. My goal is to plant seeds and to give you the value that I wish I would have had. So if you do enjoy it, of course, you can let me know. Simply just in the comments. Just tell me your experiences. Tell me your thoughts. Call me a piece of shit. Tell me I'm a fucking liar. I don't care. I'd love to chat with you there. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. See you later, everybody.